NBC5 News at 11 begins with breaking news.
Breaking news tonight, an icy mess leading to dozens of crashes across our region, including one 13-car pileup on I-89 in Richmond. Some drivers waiting 3 hours tonight in backed-up traffic.
The roads in northern New York glare ice, no traction, vehicles sliding all over the place and into each other. Plattsburgh and private crews all over, spreading salt, trying to melt that ice. One driver said it came on so fast and was just nasty to deal with.
Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Brian Collery.
And I'm Stephanie Gorin. Ice-covered roads, and it came on fast. Let's get straight to our team weather coverage. NBC5's Elena Battipaglia is tracking road conditions on I-89, and meteorologist Eric Weglars is in Plattsburgh.
But first, let's start with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tom Messner. Tom, what is the latest on this system?
Well, the latest is we're still dealing with a whole bunch of freezing rain out there. We'll take you right to the weather radar here. This is Storm Tracker, and take you to central and southern Vermont, where it continues to be just really not nice at all. Look at Rutland County here. As you head up toward Middlebury, things lighten up a little bit, but over toward White River Junction and Lebanon, even up to Bradford, but then down I-91, it is absolutely nasty, and right along Route 7, it is looking really rough as well. And then you go to the north, things had become a little more ragged not too long ago. This is almost like a secondary thing that's now coming on through. So places like Enosburg, and just to the west of there, we've seen some action to Highgate, and also into Alberg, and places like Rouse's Point, Champlain, down toward Plattsburgh. It does continue to come down, but it's going to move out, because if you take a look at the movement here, this big chunk here is going to leave. We've got kind of this secondary stuff. It's still going to be a few hours here, but I think by the first part of tomorrow, we're going to be in okay shape. Now, another thing to look at, the temperatures. For some of us, they've come up a little bit, like in Burlington at 34, Saranac Lake 34, but a lot of us very close to the critical point of 32 degrees. So expecting freezing rain for many of us right into the overnight here. It is going to be a slippery morning commute, not so much because the rain is still going to be coming down. It's one of those deals where the damage has been done. There's going to be a lot of ice remaining. Then it gets warmer later in the day, and that certainly is the time where everything is going to start to melt, which is great news. Well, Helena Battipaglia has been running around all night tonight, and I know you're right along the interstate right now, Helena. You saw some just unbelievable traffic tie-ups, didn't you?
That's right, Tom. Right now we are standing on I-89 northbound, where the traffic flow is actually looking a lot better than before. Just about 2 hours ago, traffic was backed up for miles and miles, cars just sitting there for hours, and I could tell you drivers were really not happy about it. Here's some video and pictures of the roads before. That's just by the ramp getting onto I-89 north in Colchester. Other areas along that interstate experiencing the exact same thing. State police say the holdup was a result of dozens of slide-offs and mostly minor car crashes happening because of icy, very dangerous road conditions. One of the major collisions happened in Richmond, police responding to a chain reaction crash involving 13 vehicles on I-89 north. One person was transported to the hospital, but they're expected to be okay.
Multi-vehicle pileup involved about 13 vehicles or so on Interstate 89 northbound in Richmond. There were essentially what happened. There were a couple of crashes, one on either side, one on the travel lane, one on the passing lane, and then a tractor trailer that was going through trying to avoid the crashes on either side, tried to go between them, and there wasn't enough space, so they all hit. And then there were another number of secondary crashes, or people even just who had to kind of drive off the road into a ditch or into the median.
Additional crashes and traffic delays were reported on the interstate in many places. Even still, traffic is at a standstill. State police are really urging people tonight not to drive in these conditions. Even you can see over my shoulder here on the highway, it says possible black ice, freezing rain advisory. Really just a message for people not to go out tonight, and if you do have to, really exercise caution while driving. For now, reporting on I-89 North, Helena Battipaglia, NBC5 News.
We had a chance to talk with Town of Plattsburgh Supervisor Michael Cashman by phone earlier tonight. He's asking people to stay off what he's calling treacherous roads.
The roads are treacherous, and I know that we're hardy North Country folk. but there is a safety issue here, and we really, really want people not to be on the roads. The plows are having a hard time staying on the road, getting that sand down there, and creating, safe pathways.
Right now, a state of emergency has been declared in the town of Jay. It's for Jay, Upper Jay, and Ausable Forks, New York. This is the statement on the town's website right now. It says the state of emergency is because of, quote, unexpected and severe flooding of the banks of the Ausable River and in its hamlets of Ausable Forks, Jay, and Upper Jay. Like we've been telling you, drivers were stuck for hours today in these icy conditions. We spoke with one woman who was on I-89 who says she just wanted to get home to her family.
I got on, I would say, about 6:05, 6:10, and I have been sitting in the same spot until now. It's 8:36. We had drove maybe about a minute, and then there was a 18-wheeler jackknifed in the middle of the interstate. And I mean, there's tractor trailers all over the road, on the sides. We did have a first pass of a cop escorting 4 V-Trans trucks through. I want to get home, and I want to get to my kids.
Just a mess tonight. When this dangerous weather did hit, we sent out a push alert right to your phone. Make sure to download the MyNBC5 mobile app so you can be in the know during severe weather. We'll have more coverage in just a couple of minutes, and you can also tune in first thing tomorrow morning. We'll have live team coverage from across the region, keeping you safe for your morning commute.
The other big news today, hundreds of Vermonters at the State House speaking out for and against a new abortion bill.
It calls for preserving the right to have an abortion in the state of Vermont, regardless of what the Supreme Court decides. A hearing was held today. Those for and against the bill spoke out, sending strong messages to lawmakers.
I believe in the Bible, and I feel like this is so critical to stand up for God's word and stand for truth, that they are precious, these children, and that we need to honor their lives. We need to respect their lives.
There's a lot of misinformation about this bill, and I would ask people to, apply some sense. No bill in the country is allowing infanticide, and that's what's being spread on Facebook and on these other channels.
Representatives are expected to vote on a bill later in the session. Still ahead for us here at 11, it's the sound of new life-saving tools out on the water. A close-up look at the power behind them.
And it would catch anyone off guard. The unusual sight caught on camera at a local strip mall.
Alrighty guys, Storm Tracker continuing to be lit up tonight. It is freezing rain. How long does it stick around? We'll let you know. First Alert weather is coming up.
A lot of games canceled tonight on the high school circuit, but UVM and Maine still hooping it up. We have highlights and reaction coming up on the Sports Desk.